Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kate. Do you ever find yourself in passionate, heated discussions with people who just don't want to listen to your opinions or the proven facts about a subject? Alternatively, do you find yourself holding on to opinions about something you might feel quite emotional about and being really reluctant to listen to arguments from the other side? Do you have opinions that can be considered absolute and unwavering? Do you have a blind spot? This world is a complicated place. In an era where we have information bombarding us from all corners, and opinions are often formed in the echo chambers of social media, false data, fake news, it is becoming so much more crucial to take a step back and look at all the different perspectives of any given topic. This is so important in today's complex and emotionally charged world, understanding both sides of an argument before forming an opinion. We live in a time where topics once considered neutral are now sources of intense division, fueled by emotion, characterized by stark polarization. We have some topics where there's too much debate and we can't figure out the fact from the fiction. We have some topics where there's not enough debate and we can't actually take time to decide and figure out our own opinion. And in addition to this, we are challenged with how to harness technology and social media in a way that is responsible and meaningful. The foundation of a healthy democracy and a vibrant society lies in our ability to have open and informative discussions with each other. But in order to do that, we need to really make a concerted effort to try and understand the nuances inherent in any given subject. Understanding both sides of an argument is not just an intellectual curiosity, it's an essential pillar of responsible citizenship, especially in today's world where opinions are so often treated as absolute and it's easy to just dismiss those that disagree with us. Please allow me to tell you a personal story. One of my friends is referred to as a PH. This is what he's known as in the trade. And when I first met him, I had no idea what this meant. I was shown 2 photos of him in his work environment. In the first photo, he's standing, he's holding a rifle, and he's standing over the dead body of a large male African lion, what looked to be a magnificent beast. In the second photo, he's holding the floppy, glossy carcass of a male leopard. In both photos, he's standing with pride. PH, I came to realize, means professional hunter. When you hear the phrase, the big 5, what do you think of? When I hear the phrase, the big 5, I am immediately transported to the savannas, the game parks of Africa, surrounded by magical scenery, majestic wildlife. When someone mentions the big 5 to me, I think of lion, leopard, rhino, elephants, and buffaloes. When somebody mentions the big 5 to a PH, to a professional hunter, in addition to being transported to the African bush, they may also think of kill quotas for the season, dollar bills, conservation and sustainability. The name the big 5 comes from these African mammals that are known to be huge, dangerous, and considered a significant feat for trophy hunters. Yet hunting for a professional hunter who takes the trophy hunters out for the day is not limited just to these big 5. It's accurate to say when I met my first professional hunter, I had extremely conflicting feelings. I was shocked. I had some levels of repugnance about it. I was confused. And if I'm honest, I was slightly curious. I have always believed that all life is equally precious, of equal value. Now I was faced with somebody who killed animals for a living. How different to that which I'm used to, my work environment of an office, sitting behind a desk in front of a laptop. I had so many questions. Why would somebody want to be a professional hunter? What would motivate them to be a professional hunter? Why does anybody think it's okay to kill animals? I spent many long evenings sitting around a burning campfire, surrounded by the noises of the African night, talking to this hunter to try and understand more. And I left those very long conversations with 5 key takeaways. Firstly, he talked about the fact that this is an opportunity for him to be outdoors, out in the open air, at one with nature. That whilst he would be with clients and guides for a lot of that time, he would also have time to himself. He's in solitude, at one with his own thoughts, the only human for miles around. Secondly, he talked about in a world that is becoming more and more difficult to survive in, never mind thrive in, this enables him to earn money to provide for his family. He then talked about hunting possibly being part of someone's genetic makeup, that when faced with the snorting hot breath of a lion 20 feet away, you fall back to those basic atavistic feelings of kill or be killed. He talked about people not understanding the difference between poaching and hunting, and that those that don't understand the hunting industry and how it's governed are often very much unwilling to listen to arguments in favour of it or the benefits that it can bring. I myself was one of those people. Lastly, he talked about something that I personally had never really considered, and that was conservation and game management. There are areas of Africa that are so impoverished that locals, villagers, will poach wildlife just to survive. By introducing hunting on sustainable quotas in a regulated industry into this economy, governments then are doing 3 things. They're reinvesting revenue into the area, they're giving an opportunity to support conservation and the protection of endangered animals, and they're having an opportunity there as well to provide some of the meat from those hunts to local villagers. I'm telling you this in very simplistic terms. There obviously is a lot more that goes on behind this story. What was apparent to me after all of these conversations, long conversations with this hunter, was that he loves animals. He respects the wildlife. Indeed, he feels an affinity with them. Yet, he still feels a reasonable justification for the industry that he's chosen to work in. Is it ever possible to justify taking a life for money? Meeting a number of hunters in the industry certainly challenged my preconceived ideas and assumptions about hunting. It's given me alternative viewpoints, alternative perspectives for consideration. So you might be wondering, why is she telling us this? Prior to these conversations with this hunter, I would have dismissed anyone who had any arguments in favour of hunting. Hunting was unacceptable under any conditions, an abhorrent practice. And my stance on this was absolute, and it was unwavering. No one was going to change my mind. This topic for me was a blind spot. Now, by delving into the stories, the details, the reasons, the personal stories behind it, I've opened the door to informed discussion. I now see the humanity in those that hold contrasting views to mine. When people approach discussions with a genuine desire to learn more and to understand different viewpoints, it just opens conversations. Rather than resorting to the combative and extreme exchanges that, let's face it, we see so often in today's society, it allows for more meaningful dialogue as people try to seek understanding of other people's viewpoints. It is a recognition that real-world problems seldom have simple solutions, and more often than not require a kind of nuanced approach to finding an effective resolution. Understanding both sides of an argument cannot be overestimated in contemporary society. It is a safeguard against mistrust, misinformation, intolerance, division. As responsible citizens, let all of us chase knowledge, understanding, empathy, open-mindedness, unity, collaboration, as we try to understand more of what other people are thinking and the very complicated topics that the world is experiencing at the moment. All of this, in turn, will lead to a more understanding, more compassionate society. Aesop, in the most simplistic way, said, "A fair-minded man seeks to understand both sides of the argument." And so I close this talk now by asking each of you to pause. Be really honest with yourselves. And that might make you feel a little vulnerable. And ask yourselves, what is my blind spot? And then be open-minded and commit to the pursuit of a compassionate society through knowledge, empathy, and understanding. Thank you for listening.